Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic. And today we are diving into Standard 2022, which I did not know was a format until you guys in the comment section started making fun of me for playing non-Standard 2022 Magic. So if you look in the play area, there are two other options to play here, which is Standard 2022 Play and Ranked. And that means you're only using the four sets: Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, Strixhaven, Kaldheim, and Zendikar Rising. You are not using any of these other sets here because everyone is exhausted of Throne of Eldraine, and I think also Mutate and a bunch of other things there as well. And so we are in the new format already, even though it hasn't actually happened with rotation yet. And I figured if I didn't know about this right away, that other people may not know about it right away as well. And so I wanted to make sure I made a video actually explaining what was going on there. So I've built a few decks already in Standard 2022, and I'm probably going to build a few decks around that, depending on what your guys' interest is based off viewership. But I'm going to be running between Historic, Standard, and Standard 22 based off whatever is getting viewed the most. So if you guys like a specific format, make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe and follow for those videos, and make sure you watch to the end on the ones that you like, because that is the #1 way to make sure that I know that you guys like that content. Also, comments down below definitely help, but it doesn't give me a good snapshot of what the main audience actually enjoys. All right, so this deck is a Koma control deck in Sultai. We no longer have Immersion Ultimatum, which means I can dive into Sultai without feeling dirty and gross about myself, and hopefully have some good fun plays in this deck. The biggest issue, however, is that we have very little ramp in the early game that is non-creature based. And so we have Sphere of Annihilation and Shadow's Verdict, which means we don't want to be playing Lotus Cobras or Emergent Sequences or any of the other creature ramp spells in the early game for this deck. But we do get Mimic, which is a phenomenal extra 2-drop that does add mana. It's a 2-mana mana rock, but it also sacrifices itself when it adds mana. But the benefit is that it's also a 3/3 creature to be able to attack in with for just 2 mana, and that actually is a really, really good effect. Then we have Ramp with Binding Old Gods to make sure we can actually get up to our other creatures with Koma and Xanathar. Nissa also is like our 5th copy of a ramp spell in the 4-drop slot. And then otherwise, we're just trying to make sure that we draw into our lands and making sure that we keep hitting land drops throughout the game. And I prioritize our main win cons on the top end by how many copies I have of them: 1 Professor Onyx, 2 Xanathars, and 3 Koma. Koma, I think, is the big threat to be dealing with in the Standard 22 format. It's just really powerful. It's going to be difficult to kill. There are things like Power Word Kill that can deal with it, or whatever, that's instant speed removal. That's why we have counter spells and why we have multiples to be able to find in play as well. But in general, this is going to be the main threat that is going to win games. So that's the deck. Let's go ahead and dive into the gameplay, see how it does for us, and wish me luck. All right, up against half Ambidextrous. And what an interesting hand. I mean, I like removal, and this does get rid of lots of 2-drops, but then that makes the other ones dead, kind of. We have to know we're up against the right deck, and I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say, yeah, we're up against Witherbloom deck here. Yep, everyone's playing CGB's new deck, so sounds good. Lair of the Hydra, pass the turn. I might throw one of these out on 1 just for the sake of it and get any tokens off the board as well. So if they have like a Hunt for Specimens or more 1-drops, sounds fine by me. And let us just have a few turns drawing cards. I like it. Okay, Sphere of Annihilation on 1. They didn't hit another land either, so they'll probably have more 1-drops. And even throwing it out on 2 on the next turn, or 2 or 3, is going to be pretty insane. I'm guessing this is Grim Wanderer. So going to be like, oh yeah, Grim Wanderer and the Bayou Gas, whatever. That's a 4/5 that you can play it if you sacrifice another creature. And so this is actually a perfect hand against this deck. Shadow's Verdict, we need to find another black source for. Just pass the turn. Hunt for Specimens. Okay. Gets to learn. Environmental Sciences, digging for lands. Cool. Now that we found black mana, I was going to throw this out on a Sphere of Annihilation, but now we have a blocker with Hydra. It should be fine there. So let's throw this out on green as well, so we can actually use Hydra. Pass the turn. I'm not going to force us to block the 1/1 in case they have removal. Only if they tap out beforehand. So finds a land. Gets to play it out. Doesn't play it out. Swings in now. Sure. Oh, had they already played a land out? Oh, oops. I was miscalculating there. All right, play this out on black. And pass the turn. Yeah, I don't think we throw out the Sphere of Annihilation right now. That could be a way to just force him not to play anything for a turn. I'm kind of hoping that we just get a good Shadow's Verdict, though, and it'll end up winning the game here. Yeah. So, yeah, just Shadow's Verdict. Play this on blue, pass the turn. Sedgemoor Witch. Play out another 2-drop. Sounds great. Another Shadow's Verdict. Yep. And probably a scoop now. Man, I don't typically play control. It's awesome being on this side, but it is also just kind of like, ugh, yeah, just all of the good stuff all of the time. Yay. Island and Koma. A little bit awkward. Sphere of Annihilation does get rid of our coil serpents, but I think if we play Xanathar on the next turn, we go far enough ahead that I don't think it's worth just going after the Sedgemoor Witch now. We already got rid of 2 Witherbloom Apprentices and Adina, so the combo is going to be really difficult for them to assemble. And we should be able to kill them before that. Especially with Xanathar grabbing all of their combo to our side of the board as well. So, although one awkward thing is that we end up playing their stuff. All right, sacrifice, gain indestructible. They must have 2 removal spells. Power Word Kill as well. Okay. Indestructible already. Oh yeah, Menace. Right. So they're going after our life total as fast as possible. Sounds good. Xanathar. That's just fun. I can put this in for 0. And it can get rid of any tokens just by itself. I believe that's how it works, right? Less than or equal to number of void counters on it. So if there's 0, it should still get all 0-costed things. That also gets the coils, though. And I'm not too worried about that yet. So swing in for 6. Okay, down to 17. Pass the turn. See, that's one of the issues with this deck, or this card, is that a lot of control decks actually do end up using tokens for value, or they use a lot of other stuff, where this still works just fine. It's only creatures and planeswalkers that it hits, but we also have a 4-mana Nissa, and so playing it for 4 can sometimes get our own stuff, which in control you're usually okay with that. Okay, gets to draw lots of cards. Plumb the Forbidden's actually going to be sweet for us too. Although we don't ever get to gain life really with it. We're probably going to throw out Sphere of Annihilation now. To stop the shenanigans. Let's see what's on top of the deck first, though. Pass to my turn. So Sedgemoor Witch of our own. Let's play that out. Okay, opponent scoops it up. Are they able to see what we have there? I mean, we get a huge advantage, so we should still be fine. So that was nice, but all right, on to the next one. All right, up against Plague Mancer and keep this hand. It's black mana. All right, Sweet plays Swamp as well, pass the turn. So Sphere of Ambition or Annihilation I want to bring out on turn 3, especially now. Do I kill this anyway? I don't think so. The question is, am I trying to foretell the Behold the Multiverse or hold up Power Word Kill or get out Mimic? Those are our 3 best plays for this next turn. Mimic is nice to get up to bigger stuff, but I think I'd rather hold up a little bit more control or get extra value. So let's go ahead and let's actually foretell and pass the turn, because I know I'm going for Sphere of Annihilation on the next turn. I'd like to be able to, if I don't hit land, play Behold the Multiverse, hopefully find a land, and then have Power Roll Kill on turn 4. And so Sphere is going on for 2. Issue here is they might have Mortality Spear, which does get rid of Sphere of Annihilation. Down to 15. All right, sweet. Got rid of 2 really important combo pieces. I love it. Come on with the land. I guess we do have land with Bala Ged Recovery. Sacrifice the wrong one. They didn't get the trigger off of that. But that works too. Okay, Shadow's Verdict is really nice. Now, probably to make sure that we can play that, we throw out Mimic and Recovery. And worst case scenario, we have hit a land for Professor Onyx. Like if it's a big creature that Shadow's Verdict doesn't get rid of or Power Word Kill, we have this to get rid of their best thing. Okay, Withered Bloom Apprentice. Okay, hopefully we just hit a land here and I can Verdict. Can use the Mimic. I think I'd rather use Power Word Kill here. I want a double black source. But let's just use get up to Alrund's Epiphany. That's our only 2 islands in the entire deck. They just happen to be together. Yay. Which one am I worried about more? I think it's Witherbloom Apprentice that I'm mostly worried about without a board state. So we'll go ahead and kill this now. They can sacrifice it, that's fine. Village Rites, okay. Foretelling Alrund's Epiphany now isn't the worst play, because we do have 6 mana for the next turn. We can go to Xanathar, do other stuff. But it means we don't have Shadow's Verdict online or whatever. Yeah, so don't do that. It's a bad idea. Down to 14. All right, black mana. There it is. There it is. So we have Xanathar, which is pretty sweet, but I actually think we go for Professor Onyx here, just to get extra value. And I feel like they're going to have removal. So Professor Onyx, start showing that they have to create a board state to try to pressure what we have going on here besides just targeted removal. Mortality Spear, that's the one. It's not, yeah, it's Mortality Spear is the one that can still get this. I think it's just non-land permanent. But at the very least, we'll get to draw a card here. Opponent's deciding something here. So I could negative and get rid of this, but because we have Shadow's Verdict, I'm not really worried about that yet. I'd rather just find more Shadow's Verdicts, more whatever. Sphere of Annihilation over Binding of Gods is actually an interesting option, because everything that they're trying to do is go wide and make a bunch of pests and everything. Everything is 3 cover mana cost or less, basically. And so this just does that. It means that we have more insurances. I'm going to go for the Binding of Gods, though.
Let's go digging.
I want them to see I put a Sphere of Annihilation into the graveyard a little bit. They know whatever we have in our hand is really good. And now they have to deal with Professor Onyx because they were trying to just make sure our life total got lower. And now we're going to have all the answers for that. We get to play Alrund's Epiphany, Binding of Gods, do all this stuff, gain a bunch of life with Professor Onyx. Life is great. Kona is taking their sweet time, though. Shambling Ghast. Cool. Deadly Brew. Creature or Planeswalker. Ah, I forgot about that one. Right. Makes a treasure. I mean, who plays that? We gotta hold up Sot coming this way. Okay, get rid of Withered Apprentice. We've gotten rid of a lot of these now. And by a lot, I mean like 2 of them. Can't actually counter the extra copy, so they're not worth it. Pass the turn. Counter whatever they draw instead. Okay, Sedgemoor Witch. I'm actually going to allow that. I have the answer for it already. Okay, Shadow's Verdict. Holding up Sot coming for the next turn now. Dude, they have found all of their the Forbiddens, or all of Village Rights, that's what it was. So much card draw in this deck, it's ridiculous. It is actually very resilient. I do have the Mimic I can start attacking in with at some point here too. Holding up Sot coming one more turn, pass the turn. And then we'll start playing Xanathar, Alrund's Epiphany, those kinds of things. Eye Twitch is fine. That's fine. Didn't counter anything. That's also fine. All right. Answer for the Eye Twitch, Alrund's Epiphany. Let's go ahead and attack him with Mimic. See if they want to try to find answers with this. Down to 12. Pass to my turn. Gonna hold up Sot coming for protection. Xanathar. And I don't think we attack him with these guys now to give him a chance to find the answers. Or too many of them. They have lots of mana. Pass the turn. Eye Twitch number 3. That's fine. You're gonna bring back a Plum the Forbidden. Let's go ahead and Sot coming on that. Yeah, letting them find more Plum the Forbiddens for more card draw and find all the stuff from the Learn or whatever is not great for us. Wow. Okay, they just have everything. I mean, they've drawn a lot of cards, so it's fair. And now they'll have the mana to actually play the exile card here. Yeah. Could have just sacrificed the bird, I guess. Oh well. Necrotic Fumes. And the creature to play it. We do get a hit in for 5 on this next turn. They're down to 3. They'll have pests to help them survive. Do I have the Lair of the Hydra? No. Down to 3. Play this on... Doesn't really matter anymore. Could hold on to it. Pass the turn. Okay, what do we not want them to have? Pest summonings are a little bit annoying, but we know they have another one, so that's fine. Hunt for specimens. If they find something else that can give them a way to gain life, it could be annoying. They could also find exile stuff for Koma, so we still don't really want them to learn too often. It's not any of the most important things, though. Environmental sciences, that gains them some life. Do we just stop them from gaining life right now? They can probably find ways to be okay anyway. As funky as it is, I think that we try to kill them here faster. And so, yeah, dang it. Drawing a bunch of really not good cards right now. But there's a chance they don't have lethal or anything else here. So pass the turn. We're still taking 5, but we're banking on the fact that they won't be able to gain life. There it is. They don't have a spell to cast with Blitherwound Apprentice? What? I mean, with all the cards they've drawn, there's a really high chance that those last 3 cards are lands. But, whoa, okay, we'll take that. All right, up against Pizza. Dude, I'm always up against Pizza, like every day. Keep this. We have Sphere into Binding. Hopefully we'll find a land along the way. Being able to foretell something on turn 2 is at least worthwhile. And we have a game plan. Yeah, Sphere on 2 is a really great turn 3 play, I found. There's a lot of 1s and 2 drops that are played with tokens, whatever. It's good against a lot of decks. Not all of the decks, but a lot of decks. Pass the turn. Of course, we have to find one of our 26 lands at some point here too, though. Or was it 27? I think we have 27 with Bala Ged Recovery. All right, snow-covered swamp, so snow stuff. Passing my turn. Foretelling. Let's go ahead and foretell Sock coming. Depending on what we're up against, we may not have to play Sphere of Annihilation. That'll be a better card, especially when we only have 1 blue source. Seems legit. We need to be able to draw, so let's go ahead and foretell this as well. Pass the turn. We're not in good shape without a 4th land. And if they want to counter the Behold the Multiverse, we can get rid of that counter anyway. All right, now we're in better shape. So play that and pass the turn. Foretells again. Sweet stuff. Okay, Behold the Multiverse. Ooh, no lands. Another Binding, which probably will be decent here. A good chance there's a land behind this one, so I'm not drawing a card by playing this out here. But we already have answers for a lot of stuff. Let's put it to the bottom. Tap land. Untapped land. Is that actually needed right now? If I want to get to Alrund's Epiphany quicker, then yes. So Rimewood Falls. Foretell this. Pass the turn. Yeah, let that resolve. All right, so blue and black, what are their actual win cons here? Luckily, Koma can't be countered, but they're still gonna we're gonna have to protect it with a counter spell, most likely for removal. I think we just go for Epiphany. Let them play whatever they want to play. We have 3 bindings now to deal with stuff, so if they have a counter spell, that's fine. But we're tapped out now. Yeah, cool. This is just gonna be a straight up counter deck. Yay, Mordenkainen. Wow, it's pretty big. I can play out Sphere of Annihilation. Will they have the ability to bounce it? I can play it out on... Man, they tapped out. We have a chance to play Koma as well. So binding, kill this is not a bad play. Binding, kill that. Also not the worst. They just make another one, though. Sphere of Annihilation on 6 is a pretty dang good play. So I think it's between that and Koma. Odds of them having removal at the beginning, I think, is too good. And I don't think they have answer for artifacts. Does this bounce? All right, so... pass the turn. If they can draw lots of cards here, we're actually in a lot of trouble. I wanted to see how well we could do in this kind of matchup. Yeah, so that's the issue. We're in trouble. It's bad now. And now they're probably going to be able to hold up counter spells for Koma still. Actually, no, it can't be countered. Right. Confront the past. All right. Down to 10. It's fine.
The entire multiverse is my library.
We can shout his verdict and saw it coming. I wouldn't mind finding a power word kill, so I can actually play multiple things on a turn. If we hit land, we could have double binding there. I think now it is Koma. We know it's going to resolve, and then if they have removal, I think we're just dead. Please try to counter it. They don't have removal? Whoa, they don't have removal. That is a very big deal. Goes to combat. Attacks in. Block here. So if they have removal, they're going to do it in response there anyway. So let's go ahead and get value out of this. Mordenkainen was never activated. Now they can't activate it. So I at least shut off something else they could do for the turn. All right. All right, let's attack and kill Mordenkainen. Good.
You didn't win. I chose to leave.
Yeah. I haven't heard any of his voice commands. It's actually pretty fun stuff. Negate. I don't think we're going to win a counter war here. And I think we're safe for at least a little bit here. Unless they have flying, we can hopefully saw it coming on that instead. Do I get them to spend 2 counter spells though? Is that worth it for us? I think that's fine. Yeah, now we have more protection for our Koma, which is what actually matters here. Dude, this is big. 5 cards in hand as a 10/10 is like, that's a really big dog. We could hope that they try to play something out at some point and double block. Like if they play 2 cards, all of a sudden it is dead. Just block for now. All right, try to counter here. Even if they do counter, we get to Binding the Old Gods and kill it, or Shadow's Verdict or whatever, and we're fine. So, yep. Gets the counter, gets the Mordenkainen, gets another Doggo, I'm guessing.
I'll learn much from your failure here today. Apparently, I can create your doom.
All right, so Binding. Killed this. That lets us get into Mordenkainen. So hit there, hit there. Our life total is still pretty low. If they have removal, they do have to cast it, which means this won't be a 10/10. Sphere of Annihilation, I don't know if is worthwhile yet, but we're gonna have to lose stuff anyway if we like. I think we just pass the turn, act like we have counterspell up. Unfortunately, we did not tap down for Sot coming mana. Thank you, auto tap. Appreciate you. Thanks for nothing. We do have Lair of the Hydra for a really big hit here soon too, though. Okay, block. Go ahead and activate this now. All right, what else are we looking for? A Xanathar could be pretty nice. We don't actually have a chance to respawn before they create something here. How much damage do we have? Okay, creates a dog. So we have 9, 12, this. We get to tap it down with the Koma ability. As long as they don't have bounce, we're really in really good shape. If they do have bounce, however, that might be our demise. Okay. Make this. How much mana can I still have? Can I have enough to play Mimic and activate it? No. We have to try to go for lethal, right? So at least 2. Let's go for 4. Whatever. We're going for it. And we can still play Sphere of Annihilation on 1 or 0, actually. Okay, we're good. Boom, bam, done. Yeah, so we at least still had the token from Koma that should come out for the next turn, and then Sphere of Annihilation. Yeah, okay. We did it. We're good. Life's great. Yay. All right, up against Melting and no blue mana, so we can't just keep it for Shadow's Verdict. Mulligan, better. Keep this. I think we drop Koma. And yeah, this is pretty sweet. Mimic, just by itself, actually is a decent card. It's a blocker, and it ramps up to Binding if we need to do it quicker, and it ramps up to a Shadow's Verdict. And a Shadow's Verdict on turn 4, actually pretty terrifying. All right, plays out Plains. Emergent sequence. Okay, yeah, Shadow's Verdict is going to be useful here, I'm assuming. Play out Mimic, pass the turn. It's all creatures, so it does hit the lands. And if we have to binding, we have double binding and then into Shadow's Verdict because we'll be able to find our land with the binding of old gods. Binding the old gods. Yeah, this is the card I think we'll actually see maybe the most play from the set for a while. I'm actually really hyped on Mimic. It needs to be tested a little bit more to see which situations that needs to be in, if it's an actual full play set of, or if it's like a 2 of, but it's a 2 mana rock that isn't there consistently, but being able to play stuff quicker is very important in the format. So far, we're still fine with Shadow's Verdict, but if they play out a questing beast here, I'll wish I had to hit something right now. We have double binding for another big creature, so let's just keep our life total higher right now. Let's play this out on green. Play binding. Hold up the black mana so they don't just predict the Shadow's Verdict a little bit. Pass the turn. Yeah, because if we took 7 damage there, we're so far behind for a long time. They can play out a Gargaroth. No, wait, Gargaroth's gone. What is actually in the format anymore? I don't even know. The Yasharn. There it is. Yeah, that's bad. We have another binding for it, though, so that's good. Sphere of Annihilation is probably going to be more useful soon. Ooh. Power Word Kill. You don't say. I'd rather save that for instant speed. What does it say? We can't pay life or sacrifice non-land permanents to cast spells or activate abilities, so it shuts down the Wither and Bloom deck. Honestly, that might be a reason just to go into Bant just for that card alone, because there is so much Witherbloom stuff. Or like, yeah, go have white mana, because this can help us fix our mana too. We have bindings, which is fine. We have Mimic to make sure that we hit our white mana as well. So like, we have mana fixing, so 4 color actually wouldn't be that bad. Pathways are just fine. I'm running some of these chasms and stuff, but they're not necessary when we have binding. Well, they are nice to have though. All right, that's a 5 mana thing. It's whenever lands hit the battlefield. That's actually, I think, decent in this deck. Play out Lair of the Hydra. Do I let them play out a land? We know that they have a land, but they could also play out another one between now and combat, and I'm kind of fine with the other guy, so let's just pass the turn. See if we can get them to play something else instead. Plays a land. Attacks in. Kill the Maja. I could see this deck running protection. Okay. Bad. That's bad. Sphere of Annihilation is our next best draw. Down to 13. Pass to my turn. Professor Onyx. More blue mana. Shadow's Verdict. Pass the turn. Scoot Swarm. Oh. All right. Yeah, this is just Selesnya Landfall. It's actually pretty good in the format. All right, we have to find an answer and quick. Life total pretty low. Ah, yeah, we can't draw dead stuff right now. That's awful. Sphere of Annihilation actually isn't enough right now. Oh, so here's the issue with Sphere of Annihilation. This is actually a 3-drop. Even though it's a token, it does count as a 3-drop. And so I need 1 more mana for that to have been the best draw ever. Okay, pass the turn. I can use Lair of the Hydra to protect my life total a little bit more. Hopefully I don't have another land drop. Maybe we can gain some life with Professor Onyx on the next turn somehow. And then we also just need to find Shadow's Verdict instead. Takes 6. Oh, if they kill Professor Onyx instead, that's not amazing, but somewhat helpful. Okay. They hit with 8, so we couldn't bring the Lair of the Hydra into Protector. Oh. Okay, Behold the Multiverse. I just tapped down black mana. I do not have the answer for stuff now. Darn it. Bolt to the bottom. Oh, wait, no. We do have chance for Shadow's Verdict. Okay. If I kill Maja with Binding, I'm not dead on the next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Odds of them having another one. Oh, they protected it last time. Right. They could have another protection spell. X can't be 0 with Lair of the Hydra. We can't actually activate that right now. So we're dead on board, so we have to do this. Sphere of Annihilation isn't fast enough. Only option. We're gonna put this out on 1. Yes, it doesn't kill the Scoot Swarms, but it does kill these 2 guys. And we have to be doing something here. And it's not going to be fast enough to protect us from anything else. Unless we had Alrund's Epiphany, which I just barely put to the bottom. So down to 4. Top deck has to be Shadow's Verdict. Or 1 blocker. Oh, man, we're so close. Actually, wait. We are still alive, but barely breathing. Okay, X3. And we have the Hydra to protect us. We're going to stay alive at 1. Land. That's fine. That's totally fine. We still kill all of them. Okay, X4. Do not mistap on this card. I have learned my lesson there. Please don't have any kind of pump spell. I think we did it. I think we just did it. What? Passes my turn, you lose your Scoot Swarms. Draw something amazing. All right, not the worst. It's a blocker. How big could they make their board real quick? All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So X5 here. Nope. 5. Enough to be able to let Mimic still come in as a blocker. Pass the turn, just in case they had flash or some sort of shenanigans going on there. Hey, so we can block. Oh, Questing Beast isn't in this format anymore. I don't know what I'm talking about, guys. Mammoth. Another Scoot Swarm. Okay, come on, Shadow's Verdict again. Now they're wide enough. We have to have another answer now. Bala Ged Recovery. Would you look at that? I do believe Shadow's Verdict does it, so... I knew there's a reason we're playing that. Okay, let's keep the pressure going. We need to close this game out fast before they find more Scoot Swarms. We can't keep pulling this off. Pass the turn. Oh, man. Oh. Baja. Well, they keep pulling some stuff off. They probably have a land as the last card. Yeah. Okay, so we're still not dead, though. We have answers for that. We're going to keep playing out lands. Not a really good reason not to. 3 black sources, 5 green. I think we can throw it out on black again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So not enough to pressure lethal. So pass the turn. Let them try to attack in. Emergent Sequence. Gives them another land, gets another creature. They get to go wider. Issue is that... Oh, wait, no. We use the same power Shadow's Verdict, so we do have another one in the deck still. Another Mimic. Do I show them what my last card is or let them try to make a mistake? Let's try to let them make a mistake. Yeah, good game. All right. Oh, man. They got us. Oh. Drats. In hindsight, I had to have played the Sphere of Annihilation when I did to survive as long as we did. And so we just needed those last 3 draws to be better than they were. And that's okay. It's all good. All right, so for the wrap up in this deck, I actually really like this one. Sphere of Annihilation is a very interesting card. We only had 2 Shadow's Verdicts, which felt a little bit off, but I also loved Sphere of Annihilation. I wanted to kind of see it, how it worked, play it out. The biggest issue is that what we ran into there is like, okay, well, we can play it for enough, but we're like in the next turn, but that means that we're 2 turns away and we're going to take way too much damage by that point. And so it's a little bit awkward. It doesn't cause the effect immediately, which is a big deal. There is some kind of cool stuff you can do with that with Alrund's Epiphany, or like some other ways to gain take extra turns if you have enough mana, like in the late game or whatever. So it still is a good card. I still like it here for sure. It might be 2 of here and 3 of for the Shadow's Verdict instead, though. We also didn't find a whole lot of other removal. They had protection from one of the most important removal pieces we could have found, that we did have at one point in the last game. But overall for the other games, like I felt the deck was really powerful. It was fun. Koma, really powerful card. It's going to win games. Xanathar also being really awesome here to be able to just kind of take advantage and like just we're gonna have more value than they do. We're gonna draw the cards if we're up against a sacrifice deck. We have tons of life gain all of a sudden. We can find things like Plumb the Forbidden off the top of the deck or whatever, like, and it's just really hard to deal with. And so I really like it overall. This deck is really fun, and I think it needs some improvements here and there. So I'd love to hear what your guys' improvements are for the deck down in the description below. And other than that, let's go and hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much, and bye-bye.